Alrighty. Good day to you, glorious Rascallion Resonators. You absolute legends. The name's FOXSOL. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves. And hopefully you're having a tremendously great, amazing day. This video is going to actually be a topic that we discussed on one of my live streams, and I'm going to present this in a video format because it was an interesting conversation and I want to bring it up, and that's talking about the balancing of the game. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about basically how this all started and why this video is being produced and all that good jazz, right? So take a seat at the table, grab yourself a cold one, relax, and let's dive right into the topic. Alrighty. So like I stated, we did a live stream, and in that live stream I was fighting the Bellborn boss over and over, trying to get the healing bonus, rejuvenation glow echo from him, and my god, that son of a bitch did not want to drop it. However, we were having a conversation because I started watching some YouTube videos, about Yinlin Waves, because we were talking about pretty much how crap that channel is. And we saw a video that was kind of interesting that showcased itself on the screen, and I think the channel's name is Santos, who was talking about the Wuthering Wave and how it changes gacha balancing forever, and how Wuthering Waves does a really good job at it. It's like absolutely the best. So we ended up watching the video, and it's a good video. I recommend anyone, the guy does really great content. I was actually watching some of his stuff earlier, and a lot of his key points are very much on point. It's like one of the very few like Wuthering Wave channels that I actually very much well enjoy. I subscribed. I mean, shout outs to this channel. I think he's really fucking great. But I'm gonna say that from that topic, I agree with maybe a good 95% of his points. Basically the idea behind it, and I'm going to try to simplify this as best as possible, and I might get this wrong in a sense, but hopefully I don't. Hopefully I get the good gist of all it. Wuthering Waves, in all honesty, when it comes down to its balancing, it basically, like he was stating, it's going to be almost future proof. Basically, in the sense that it separates, resin skill damage, a basic attack damage bonus, heavy attack damage bonus, resin skill damage bonus, and so forth. It basically puts it all into a gacha-based system with the echoes, to where you can get different substats and percentage values and such. And in terms of balancing, it takes characters that future-wise will still be relevant. And that way, they have a chance to be still relevant. And let's just say if, a character like Yao or a character like GN falls off, pretty much all Kuro has to do, like he was stating, is create a sub DPS that legitimately has a benefit with an outro skill, in a sense, that will help boost up their abilities to make them viable. Because you got to remember that this is a team-based game, not a solo-based game. And while we were watching the video and while I was listening and everything else, like I said, I agree. I do agree that the balancing in Wuthering Waves compared to other gacha systems is actually probably by far the best system. However, I don't think it's that perfect. Okay? I don't think that in terms that, it is... characters are not going to fall off and fall off. What I mean by that is that echoes, sub DPSs, especially for DPS characters and such, there's going to be a time to where these characters in general will fall off. I don't expect my Chang Li in a year from now to still be a relevant character that I want to continue playing. And why is that? Because there is always going to be a need, in my personal opinion, for power creep, on providing us with additional characters that do a better job. You see, the idea, like, okay, Calchero, Calculator Man. and Yao are two electric type characters. And when WutheringWaves first came out, you know, Cal was like one of the, oh, he's the thunder god, he is the greatest, you know, thing there was. Then he dropped off. And especially with Yao, there was Yinlin that came in, and Yinlin was supposed to be the character that ultimately helped, you know, Calchero to retain his status before Yao came out and everything else. But Yinlin also again came in and was a character that ultimately also really helped Yao along with his weapon. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think Cal can compete in terms of damage with Yao, especially with how his kit is, especially how the weapon is. I don't care if you put another, in all honesty, I don't think if you even put another sub DPS with better stats or something to that effect, that you're going to make, you know, a character. Oh, but he's a limited character. Okay, I get what your point. Limited characters always going to be better. Gotcha. I understand. Not standard 5 stars. I understand that's the point, but I'm just going to say that future wise, there might be another electric character that's going to be a 5-star limited that I think personally, you know, is going to ultimately kill the character to a certain degree. The balancing, I don't think, is really based upon, oh, what type of support you have or what type of, you know, sub DPS you have for your main DPS, what DPS you have. That's not where I think Kuro was a genius at in this game. Okay, no offense to Saints, I think, like, you know, like I said, 95% to maybe even 98% of that video, I completely agree. Like I said on the live stream, I agree. I think the true balance mark of where this game truly makes it to where any character can be completely viable is because this game is mostly based on skill. And you're going to be looking at me like I'm probably completely crazy and like, what the fuck do you mean? And what I'm saying is that, you know, I haven't played a heck of a lot of Genshin Impact. I played a heck of a lot of DMC, and I'll put it like this. In DMC, you know, Devil May Cry Peak of Combat, there was the issue to where one character reigned them all, and that was Endless Judgment Virgil. In terms of damage, this motherfucker will never ever fucking dethroned until I think much later, and I don't play it, but apparently there was another character for it that came in that pretty much destroyed it. However, for a long time period, you know, other characters, if you took EJ out and you looked at other characters that had the same types of elements and everything else, other characters completely destroyed other characters to where they were no longer useful. And the problem though was it wasn't a skill-based game. It was, you have to have this character in order to do this much damage. This character is not, no matter what weapon, no matter what card set, you're not going to get this character to be as good as Endless Judgment Virgil. You're not going to get, you know, a kit, a balance around this. And even if you did, you know, have better cards, you would have had hell cards or stuff like this, that character, you know, that was still being beaten out by, you know, Devilbringer Nero still being beaten out by this character or that character. The problem here is that those characters benefit from the other cards, and it will always make them more viable over the rest, and you don't want to play them. The only reason why you play them is because, oh, I like Trish. Oh, I like Virgil. Oh, I like Dante. That's it. You only play because you like the character and you want to, you know, play the character. But when you're going through realms or something else to try to get rewards, you're going to play the best team and the best team only, and those other characters fell off. And WutheringWaves, I could see like you would need the best team for tower adversity, but let's just say you have something like the tactical hologram bosses, right? WutheringWaves, you can play any type of character at any level against these difficult hologram bosses. And in all honesty, you can be basically level 1 and you can do it. The game does not particularly stop you. Okay, it says, hey, you know, after 3 minutes, This boss here is going to gain, you know, 50% attack every second, and it stacks up unlimitedly. So basically after 3 minutes, the boss can one-shot you. The timer's done. He can one-shot you, but you can still do it. And if you're good at your parrying, you're good at your dodging, you can actually beat that boss at level 1. That's skill base. That is where I think primarily what Kuro Games did that truly justifies you playing any character. You can still play Cal, and you can still do good enough damage, and you can still have fun playing him. But you know, at that point, it's pure skill. You don't have to be, you know, you don't have to play the best character. You can play what you want, and regardless, and you can still make it viable. Not because of the echo set you put on it, not because of the weapons you put on. I mean, it helps. Don't get me wrong. It fucking helps. Not because he's, you know, rank 5, rank 6 weapon. You know, not because he's rank 5 or, you know, summon 6, summon 5, whatever. It's because the skill in this game is there. It's saying, hey, look, this is skill base. We're adding these tools, which is the echoes, the weapons, you know, the additional dupes and summons, so that way it makes it easier for you to, you know, compete in this. But overall, you can do this, you know, by yourself. I've played Danjin, who's not even a character that I have built up in any which way, shape, form. I have played her in the Elusive Depths and ran through the timer for the final Crownless boss, for the Dream boss and such, to where it's like, oh crap, if I get hit once, she's fucking dead. Guess what? We went through it. I dodged, I locked in, you can say, and we hammered it down and we won. I didn't have her built up. She's still like level 70. She has no echoes. She has no good weapon on her. She is just, you know, plain Jane. But we did it and we got through it, and it was based on skill. That's where I think that, you know, a lot of the balance features also comes in. I'm not saying that, you know, the balancing that Kuro has added with the ecosystem and everything else, like Saints Toss was putting out, is not viable. I'm saying that that is one part, but I think that that is the major part in particular is the skilling. It's just setting up to, hey, look, this is not a game that we're going to really say it's pay to win. Pay to win in this is more like pay to help you get, you know, stronger, so that way it makes it much easier. Otherwise, the game is still pure balance. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me on that one, I truly think that the best thing that has happened in this game is, like I said, is based on the combat system and based on the intricacies of, you know, truly a skill-based game. I feel like there's other gacha games out there that don't focus on skill. They focus on, you need to have the best cards, the best elements on your characters, and some characters, like I said, just drop off because they're no longer viable, because the power creeping on this new Virgil or this new character is too damn strong compared to the old one. Why would you touch the old one? Where if the old one, the maximum he can do was, you know, 1.5 million damage, and the new one does 3.5 million damage, why would you ever touch the 1.5 million? No matter what you do, you're not going to make it be able to do that high damage. In Kuro, I mean, with WutheringWaves, with Kuro, I see that. I see that that will be a possibility future-wise, that we will have certain types of characters that will, you know, in general, be much stronger. They'll be doing much more damage, and they, you know, are going to blow over the top. And that's not for like anytime soon either, by the way. That's not anytime soon. That's like a really, really, really far time in the future. But with the system as it is, being skill based, I think that solves that issue to make it to where we can still play the characters that we want to play, and we can still do the damage. You know, it might not be as big as the new characters, but it's still to where it's viable enough to make it work. So tell me what your thoughts is down in the comment section below. Remember to join the Discord, link in the description if you'd like to. It's a small little community. We're trying to grow it, and love to hear your opinions. Like, seriously, whether you want to criticize, whether you want to agree, or whether you have your own different opinion in general that you just want to express, leave it down in the comments or come bring it out in the Discord, however you'd like to do it. Like the video if you like the topic and you want me to continue doing videos like this. Consider, if you disliked it, hey, same thing. If you don't want me to do it, hit that dislike button. I do look at all that. And you know what? It does help to generate what type of content to put on this channel. But above all else, guys, hopefully you have a good one. Keep it real, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.